Hi friends, how are you? Welcome to another forecast discussion from New York Metro Weather. It's January 18th. Hope you all are having a good afternoon and evening. And we have two storms coming up really that we wanted to give you guys all the details on, and we felt that a video was a better way to do that as opposed to a post. We did a post last night actually, but I wanted to give you guys a visual so everyone can see what's going on here and get a better idea as to where we're at. So we have a high pressure built in now, currently over the area. This is the current image. From this evening, you can see the high pressure, and this high is going to slide off to the east over the next few days, the northeast actually. And you can, if you look at the top left, you can see a little bit of energy coming into the area, or into the northeast, Thursday night into Friday morning. The top right is precipitation, and you can see the models are picking up on a little bit of a clipper system. The energy again on the top left, driving some precipitation, through the area. There is a general lack of moisture. You can see things are kind of disorganized here. So we're not expecting much precipitation with this, but there is a potential for some snow over the interior areas. Now it's interesting because despite the fact that it is so cold aloft, you can see the temperatures in the middle of the atmosphere are minus 10 degrees Celsius, around maybe a little warmer than that. Despite it being so cold aloft, at the surface, if you take a look at the NAM here, it's actually showing the potential for rain near the coast because of southerly winds ahead of this system, which actually is acting a little bit more like a front than anything. So we've included a chance of snow and rain in the forecast with this. We do expect that it'll be mostly snow with some rain mixed in along the coast, but it's definitely not the most favorable setup, and the precipitation will be light. So we're expecting very, very minimal accumulations in the interior suburbs, no accumulations along the coast or in the city, and the potential for maybe an inch of snow over northern New Jersey, with higher amounts of maybe 1 to 2 inches over parts of southeast New York and Connecticut. As the system moves to the east, maybe 1 to 3 inches would be a better forecast over southern New England, but that doesn't really involve us too much. So that'll be out of here by Friday, later Friday morning. We can see here the short-range ensemble forecast accumulations, not much potential for even an inch in our area, as we mentioned, and they're generally going with 1 inch, a high probability of 1 inch over New England, but a low probability of 4 inches. So that fits our forecast very well. So that takes care of that. That's out of here by Friday. Just really a nuisance, not much of a big deal. And then we have another system approaching. You're looking at the map Saturday morning here. Here's the energy. You can see a trough here at the middle of the atmosphere over the central United States. This feature sliding to the east. The low pressure, this is the surface pressure, is moving into Kentucky. And at the surface, you can see precipitation moving into the northeast. Now you'll notice it's pretty cold to begin with, but there is a push of warm air. And what's occurring here, what's driving the system and driving the precipitation, is known as warm air advection. So we're moving warm air in with this system. That's what's driving the precipitation to begin with. And so as the warm air advection continues, the atmosphere will warm up, and you'll see the temperatures. Just looking at these two frames, look at the bottom right here. Our temperatures at 850 millibars go from probably, -8 to around 0 in one frame, and then the next frame it's raining over the area with 850 temperatures well over 0. Actually, that's around 4 Celsius. So the forecast becomes complicated, and we'll zoom in here and take a better look at things here. Here comes the system from the west, and you can see it's what we call a southwest flow event. So the system comes from the southwest, moves to the northeast, and then transfers its energy to the coast. You can see this shortwave here to the north over Canada is very important because how fast this system moves in will determine how far north this storm can get. If you can imagine, it's kind of pressing on the system. So if you watch the track of the low pressure, you can see it's heading northeast, and then all of a sudden it feels the impact of that shortwave to the north and slides off to the east instead. So if this system were to move in faster, things would be leaning towards more snow. But in systems like this, it's very interesting because you can have a cold surface but warm mid-levels, and that means when the snowflake falls through, it'll melt and change to rain, and then possibly remelt lower in the atmosphere to where you can get sleet. So it's going to be a difficult forecast, and as the models are showing right now, it'll be a little bit of frozen precipitation, then over to rain. The European model from this afternoon is showing a very similar situation. We can see a few things here we want to point out. This blue line is a 32-degree line at the surface. So you can see mostly everyone in the air is above 32. This lighter blue line is the 850 millibar line, so we're right around freezing, maybe a little bit above freezing there. So this is probably rain at this point. The European indicating the same thing as the GFS model, which is a little bit of snow, maybe transition to sleet, and then over to rain. So we'll look here now at a forecast sounding. This is from the other day, so disregard the time and what this means, but we're looking at this sounding to illustrate a point. This pink line, this is a vertical profile of the atmosphere. So this pink line is the 0 Celsius line, and this red line is the temperature. We won't get into too many details. But notice how, let's say you were forming a snowflake here around 600 millibars, just for example. Here's 600 millibars. Your snowflake forms. It's freezing, blah, 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 good. And then all of a sudden, you're above freezing because of this push of warm air in the mid-levels. Mid-level warming, southwest winds in the mid-levels. So the snowflake melts, and then as it comes down to the surface, it might refreeze to sleet or some kind of mixed wintry precipitation. So that's how these precipitation types happen. I mean, a lot more goes into it. We're not going to get into all this, but this is just a basic layman's view of what we as forecasters are looking at here. If you were to form a snowflake in this sounding, it would most likely be rain or sleet. So that's what we're looking at. And we'll look at one more thing here. We're looking here at important levels are 800, 850 millibars right here, where things are above zero. So we'll look at that. The GFS forecast for 850 millibars with this system on Saturday is above zero, between 0 and 4 Celsius, with winds out of the southwest at that level. So obviously, the models are hinting at the potential for a little bit of snow to start changing over to sleet and rain near the coast, and maybe a more prolonged period inland. And that's what we've got for our early impact graphic for this system. Not expecting much near the coast in the city, maybe an hour of snow or sleet, changing over to rain. In the interior immediate suburbs and near the Connecticut coast, a brief period of wintry weather before a change over to sleet and rain. And over the interior, as we've been seeing so much this winter, this has been the area where, I mean, the winter weather has been so hard to find, but any that has occurred has been pretty much focused over this area here over the interior. Could be the potential for a prolonged period of snow or sleet with this storm system. Now, we want to just make sure you guys understand the system is 3 days away, so things can definitely change. This is just our early look at it. And we wanted to keep you guys informed of any potential winter weather that might impact our area over the weekend. So we hope you're giving you guys a good heads up. We'll be in touch, updating you guys as we get more forecast models and we get a good look and we can analyze this storm system as it approaches. We'll have a much better idea of what to expect by tomorrow, or maybe you never can really finalize the details until about 24 hours before the storm system. But this is what we're looking at so far. Just to recap, we have a Clipper system coming through Thursday night into Friday, which may provide areas away from the coast of the city with a dusting to an inch of snow, possibly more of an inch or two in the interior and in Connecticut and southeast New York. And then a system coming up on Saturday, early Saturday, which could provide a brief period of wintry weather, generally west of the city and the suburbs, away from the shore, with some snow which would change over to sleet and rain with time. And then a potential longer period of snow and sleet over the hills of northwest New Jersey, southeast New York, and interior Connecticut. So we'll be with you guys updating over the next few days. Stay with us on Facebook and Twitter, and we love interacting with you guys. We'll keep you guys updated, and we'll talk to you really soon.